Alright guys, so today we're finally going to take the full look at the Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro. Now we got our first look right before the end of the year. I've had these that long, but today is the official release and you can pick them up on Amazon, which I will have in the description. And they also have this sale going on since it is the release date, where instead of getting it for the retail price of 69 bucks, they have a 20% off box you can check off. Plus they've also given you guys a code that you can get an extra 10%. So right now you can pick it up for about $48. And at that price point, you will see that there is a lot that you're getting for your money. Now, to start with, the main selling point is this was one of the first pairs from Soundpeats to have that LDAC support. So it has the high-res audio wireless certification, and I can tell you it makes a huge difference if you can take advantage of this. Obviously, you need to have an Android device instead of an iPhone because iPhone will not let you take advantage of LDAC support. But also, this is a pair that I would absolutely put up against the Apple AirPods Pro, which costs at the moment, considering the sale price, 5 times as much as the cost of the Capsule 3 Pro. Now what you're getting is Bluetooth 5.3. Like I said, you're getting that high-res audio wireless certification because of the LDAC playback. You're also getting very good noise canceling, a really good transparency mode. You also get a gaming mode that you can switch these into, which allows you to be able to game and listen to movies and videos and not have to worry so much about lag. So this is a very good pair for media. And you also get the ability to work with Soundpeats app. Now this, again, is not a huge selling point because Soundpeats app still needs to kind of be a little bit more polished, but within their app you do get the ability to keep these updated. I've actually gotten a couple of updates on this specific pair. You also get different EQ options. You can also go in and customize the EQ settings the way that you want, and you can also disable the touch controls. Now if you one of those people that have to kind of adjust your earbuds often, you'll know that you accidentally touch the earbuds. You can just shut off the controls and not have to worry about that. And speaking of the controls, this pair does use touch controls. And again, just like other Soundpeats products, it allows you to have control over everything but the ability to go back to the previous track. Now, I'm holding on to the fact that because this works with Soundpeats app, hopefully they'll just add this in an update later and just realize, why are we not putting previous track on all of our earbuds? Let's just push out an update and give all of our earbuds the previous track control. And I've seen where some people say, well, what's the big deal? But I like listening to a song, and if there's something I want to just hear again, I like to go back and listen to that song again. And I'll listen to it like 3 or 4 times in a row. So I do like having this feature. But as far as from like a design standpoint, the case on these, it's nothing flashy. And in fact, this is like a generic Soundpeats case that you see with a lot of their earbuds. But the earbuds for a stem style design earbud actually has a really nice look to it. It has a premium look. It doesn't look like a cheap pair of earbuds with a stem or a very long stem. So I actually like the design of this pair. And again, it does use touch controls. You can control everything from your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, not going backwards. You can control your volume, your ability to go from noise canceling to transparency mode, and also switch it into that gaming mode. But speaking of the noise canceling, this is another area where I was very impressed, especially because of the price range of these. The noise canceling blocks out engine noises and low rumbles from like AC units and things like that easily, but it also does a pretty decent job of blocking out people talking. So if you're in an environment where there's a lot of people talking, most cheaper earbuds don't really block that out too well, but this actually dulls out quite a bit of that. Now, again, I'm not trying to compare this to the Sony or the Bose, but for its price range, the noise canceling is very impressive. But the transparency mode that these have is extremely impressive. Now, this pair actually has 6 microphones total, and I don't know how many mics they're actually using during the transparency mode, but if you just need to hear all of your surroundings, it definitely does that. It does have a little bit of a, I guess, maybe white noise because the mics are a little sensitive, but that also means that you can carry on a conversation without actually having to take the earbuds out. Now, as far as actually using these outdoors, they do come in with an IPX4 rating. So although you can't, drop them in water or anything like that, they're going to be fine if it starts to rain or they get splashed on, or, if you're somebody that sweats heavily when you're in the gym, those things you don't have to worry about. Now, as far as all of the things that they give you in the box, you do get 3 sets of silicone ear tips. You do get a tiny USB-C cable, which you are going to have to use, and I kind of understand in this price range why this pair doesn't have wireless charging, but it is something I would like to see. It's just something I've gotten really used to. And another thing is this pair does not have fast charging, or at least that I've seen anywhere. But speaking of the charging, battery life is very impressive depending on how you use them. And I think I've said this in the previous video, but if you use them with the noise canceling off, you can get 8 hours out of the earbuds with about 52 hours using the case. But if you use them with the noise canceling on, it drops it down to 6 hours on the earbuds and about 39 hours using the case. But even above that, if you use them with the LDAC mode, which I highly recommend, it brings it down to 4.5 hours. And if you use it with the LDAC on and the noise canceling on, it brings the battery life to the earbud all the way down to 4 hours. And again, I don't really find that to be a huge complaint. I don't think most people use their earbuds more than 4 hours at a time anyway. But if you are somebody that likes to use your earbuds at work, you might want to listen to these without LDAC and without noise canceling so that you can get that full 8 hours on the earbuds and not have to worry about charging them. Now, if you are going to use these for taking phone calls, like I said, it does have 6 microphones. Again, I don't know how many they're using during their phone calls, but I did notice that it picked up my voice very well, and it also did a really good job of blocking out all of my surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here's the mic test of the Capsule 3 Pro. Like I said, I think you can hear me very clearly. It does sound a little digital and a little bit warmer, but I don't think anybody on the other line will have any issue hearing me. So this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is the mic test for the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because this pair is using a 12mm dynamic driver, and I can tell you it's trying to do everything it can to be as dynamic as possible, but in a good way. The bass has a lot of impact, but it's not sloppy. It's not muddy. It is fairly tight, where the treble has a very clean approach. It's nice and bright. It does a really good job of kind of balancing out with that really punchy bass. And the mids, they just pushed slightly forward, just enough that no matter what genre you're listening to, you can hear vocalists cleanly. If you're listening to podcasts or movies or things like that, dialogue comes through extremely well. And this pair does a very good job of keeping up with a lot of chaotic genres. So it really excels in genres like metal. The soundstage and the sound imaging is also really nice on this pair. It kind of made me feel like I was in a very large room. And being able to tell where different sounds were coming from, I had no issues when it came to this pair. And so I would say if you listen to pop or hip hop, I would probably give these an 8 in that category, mainly because they don't let the bass be too overpowering. And I think a lot of people that just listen to those genres like to have the overbearing bass sometimes. But with rock and metal, I was extremely happy with listening to these with that genre. I would definitely give these a 9 in that area. And then when it comes to genres like easy listening and country and anything that's more focused on vocals, I would give these an 8 in that category. And that's mainly because it's still, a little obvious that it's focused on the bass and the treble a little bit more than it is the mids. If the mids were just bumped slightly more forward, I would give these a 9 easily. And then when it comes to listening to these with media like gaming, movies, and videos, this area also gets a 9 because having that gaming mode really does eliminate a lot of lag. In fact, the only lag that I notice is just a slight lag when it comes to gaming, and that's just common with pretty much every true wireless earbud. So my overall rating on these is going to be an 8.5, and really it could be close to a 9 because I definitely see some extreme amount of value in this pair, being able to get them for under $50. Because if you don't mind giving up Qi wireless charging and fast charging or the ability to go back to the previous track, what you are getting is really good noise canceling. I mean, that just is well above its price tag. Same thing with the transparency mode. It does a really good job of making you aware of everything. And although the app is not anything special, it does give you some important things like being able to keep them updated and also those EQ options. But the sound on these is the huge selling point. Having that LDAC playback and getting that high-res wireless audio certified on a pair that's under $50 definitely kind of pushes these in front of a lot of the other budget earbuds out there. I just think there's so much to like here for its price tag, and Soundpeats again has proved you can get a lot without having to spend a ton of money. Especially, again, if you are looking at the AirPods Pro and you don't want to spend $250, at least start with these and see what all you can get. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro, which again is now available as of today. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.